5 is acquiring my Abronia. I would definitely go about this a little differently than I did. One of the big things was that the paperwork and the effort I went through to get these was pretty high. You know, I went through a full FOIA request with the importation documents for these guys, and I might make a whole video explaining that process because that was a 9-month process just to get the legal documentation for these guys. And because it is time consuming and a lot of effort. But the big thing with acquiring the Abronia is you want to make sure that they're captive bred from ethical sources. That's a huge deal with these guys. And now that I've, talked to a bunch of people, now I've worked with a lot of people in the community, I have a lot of different sources of people who are ethically breeding these, who I know personally on a different level than I did before when I first got on this journey. And I have a better understanding of how they're caring for them. I have more of a one-on-one conversation with these breeders, and I would definitely go with them in the future just to keep building that network and keep, making sure that, everything's up to par and the level of care that they're getting before I get them is up there. Because that's a huge thing, like when I got these guys, I vetted them through getting them a bunch of vet checks, making sure that they had no parasites. And they did have some small ones, but nothing too concerning, and they're all checked out and good and healthy now. But this way I know, exactly where they're coming from, who they're from, how they raise them, how are they bred, making sure everything's up to par.